This is the end of part 1. Let's go to part 2. Convert the hexadecimal number E9 to the equivalent octal number. Show the relevant steps. So E9. Hexadecimal should be converted into octal value. E9 base 16 converts into octal value. We cannot convert directly into the octal value, so first of all we have to convert it into base 2 binary, and then only we can convert it into octal value. Let's connect. E means 14. How to make 14? 8 plus 2 plus 4. Then 8, 4, 2, 0. 9, 8 plus 1. Then 1, 8, 0, 0, another 1. Then answer can be get as 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So this value is equals to what? E9. This value is equals to E9 base 16. Now I can convert this into octal value. Separating 3 by 3 this side. From this side we have to separate 3 by 3. Then 0, 0, 1, that means 1, 1, 0, 0. Here 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2. Then 2 to the power 2 is 4, 2 to the power 0 is 1, answer is 5. Then here 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2. 2 to the power 0 is 1 plus 2 to the power 1 is 2, then 3. If this value is equals to this E9 16, then E9 16 is equals to 3518. So these are the steps that should be shown. Consider the following logic circuit diagram. Present the equivalent Boolean expression for the above logic diagram. Now in here the Boolean expression is asking PQ. Here the value is P plus Q. And this P wire joins to here with Q wire and makes an AND gate. So P dot Q, whole thing bar. Then R is equals to P plus Q. These two are connected to an AND gate. So dot P dot Q, whole thing bar. This is the Boolean expression for the above logic gate. A company uses its own file server to store electronic documents, spreadsheets and images. In order to reduce the cost, it decides to store these files in a cloud. Roman number 3. A computer uses its own file server to store electronic documents, spreadsheets and images. In order to reduce the cost, it decides to store these files in a cloud-based online drive. Write down one benefit of using cloud-based. So cloud computing, in addition to reducing the cost. So cloud computing reduce the cost. In addition to it, what are the advantages of cloud-based computing? So we can write software cost is low is given already, so we can write improve the performance, few maintenance, choose the instance. Updates are, then write down only one benefit is enough. Write down one disadvantage of using cloud computing or cloud-based drive. It requires, it needs a constant internet speed, internet connection or speed. So this is the main advantage. So let's move to the next questions. Geeta uses an automated teller machine to withdraw money from her bank account. First, she inserts the ATM card into the machine and enters the secret PIN code. Then she enters the amount of money she wants to withdraw. The system checks the balance available in her account and dispenses money as the balance available in her account is more than the amount of money Geeta wants to withdraw. At the same time, the system updates the balance available by deducting the amount of money dispensed from the previous balance. So from the above scenario, write down an example for each input and output. Here the input is be taken as inserting the ATM card. ATM card can be taken, and also the secret PIN, and also we can write entering the amount Geeta need. Then as the process, we can take checking the system checking the balance available, like I say. Okay, as the output, we can write the amount that Geeta gets. Or withdrawal amount. The first column in the following table shows activities related to different devices indicated A to D. The second column shows the ports required to connect the devices to a computer. However, activities and ports are not in the correct order. Identify the correct port from the second column to connect each. So A, selecting a menu option using an optical mouse. The port should be USB. Listening to a song using a headphone, it should be audio port. Audio port. Accessing the internet through a LAN. RJ45 port. RJ45. Then D, showing a video clip with a multimedia projector. It should be HDMI, higher definition multimedia port. Okay, then Roman number 6, a document was created with the word processing software and it was formatted as indicated by numbers 1 to 4. So these are the tools, and we have to write the relevant tool for the formatted one. First one, green IT. In here you can see the green IT size has been increased. So we can use either from these two we can increase the size. So B, C. Second one, green IT has been bold. So we can use the letter, we can use H. Third one, product longevity materials recycle has been just written before formatted, but after formatting bullets are introduced for it. So we can use this too. Third one F. Then at last the source has been given, and if after formatting it has been italic, so this can be taken. Okay, then seventh one. Consider the following table with 4 statements relating to the internet indicating by letters P to S in the first column. Large collection of electronic documents. P. So the large collection of electronic documents is World Wide Web. Q. Transfer large files from one computer to another over the internet. Okay, then Q. Transfer files from one computer to another over the internet. Transfer large files. So FTP R translates a URL to an IP address, DNS server. Domain naming system. S. A protocol to access web pages. H. Hypertext transmission protocol. Consider the following table with tasks to editing an image indicating by letters W to X, Z given in the first column. Tools are available in a typical image editing software indicating by numbers 1 to 4 are given in the second column. However, formatting tasks and tools are not in order. So let's write. W. Selecting a part of the image based on its color. So for this purpose, fourth one is more suitable. Magic wand tool is suitable. And W, then X. Move in a selected part of the image. So this one can be used. Selection tool. First one. Erasing a part of image. Eraser tool. Second one. And he said at last the remaining one should be there. That means third one, fill. Consider the given diagram. Give an example each for hardware, application software and live. For hardware. Okay, then the ninth question. Consider the given diagram. Give a part. Give an example each for hardware, application software and liveware. So in here hardware means all the physical components that made a computer, and also the things, the computer components that we can touch. So they are monitor, CPU, then mouse, keyboard, and then also we can write them like that. One example is enough for this. Then application software, MS. Application software means apps. Normally we are giving the name as apps. So Paint, then GIMP, all the things are applications, all the apps are application software. Even games are also belong to the category of application software. Then liveware. Liveware means us. That means a computer user. You can write a computer user. Apart from these hardware, software and liveware, there's another ware known as firmware. And for firmware, examples are one and only example is the BIOS. BIOS means the booting up process that carried by ROM, read-only memory. Okay. Then B, identify and write down one component represented by X. So in here X means means system software, and they asking one component of X. So there are three components of system software. So they are operating system, utility system, utility software, and then language translator. So these are the components. So you have to write only one component out of these three components. Roman number 10. Consider the following program segment in Pascal. So variable is number and it's an array 0 to 4. If I draw this array like this, and it should have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 boxes. Then I can write here 0, here 1, here 2, here 3, here 4, and they given the value of all the numbers. Number 0 is 15, number 2 is 80, number 4 is 50. That means number 1 means 10 should be added to number 4. Number 4 is 50. If 10 were added, it is 60. Number 3 means the sum of number 1 and number 0 and number 2. It's 33. Then write ln number I. So for I is, now they given as the I should be 1 to 4. That means the output should be 1 is 60. As it was given a command as write ln, it should be written vertically downwards. That means 1 is 60, here 18, here 33, and here 50. So this is the output of the given Pascal. Description of different malware or malicious software labeled with letters A to D, and the list of different malware are given in the first and second columns of the following label respectively. However, description and malware are not in the order, so we have to write the correct order. A is presents itself as harmless and enters without the knowledge of users, and then could steal and or delete data. It is spyware. They enters to a computer that they helping the users, but after that they spread viruses. B collects information about bank accounts or electronic accounts using email and steals cash deposits by deceiving the user. Phishing. C. Unauthorized email either relate to advertisement about a product or from an unknown person. Collects email addresses and they are used unlawfully. Spams. They are unlawful ones. D. Are capable of acting and spread alone using email attachments, false websites and instant messages. Computer worms. Okay, next one. Write down 2 methods for proper disposal of electronic waste. So there are three ways. Is reduce. We can reuse it and then recycle. Write down. You can write any of these 3. Write down any 3 recommended correct postures a user should adapt in order to minimize the adverse effects such as CVS, CTS, and repetitive stress RSI, stress injury related to the ICT. We can do several things by adjusting light on the computer, which keep our eyes, which make our eyes comfortable. And then we can blink and take eyes off the screen at several intervals. And also taking a break, like walking short distances. This can be written. Short distances. Then maintaining a relaxed mind without using the computers for more hours. This can be done. Consider the following scenario. An information technology manager of a computer is also an active member of a voluntary organization which supports families of low income for education, healthcare, etc. Without the knowledge of the authorities of the company, he provides a list of email addresses of leading businessmen who are customers of his company to the voluntary organization in order to contact them. Briefly explain why the act of manager is unethical. Why his act is unethical? Because you can see here, without the knowledge of authorities of the company, he provides a list of emails of leading businessmen who are customers of his companies, and in order to contact them for fundraising. So without the knowledge of authorities of the company, he is providing. So this is an unethical act. So we can write because he provides list of emails of lending businessmen without the knowledge of authorities. So this is the unethical thing he is doing. The computer hardware in an office are completely destroyed by a fire, and as a result, some of the important data in the storage devices have been lost forever. Briefly explain the precautionary steps that could have been taken to avoid this loss of data. So we can add the backup. For them, for storage devices, and also can store the information. These things can be done to avoid the loss of data. Then the third one, each of the following statements has a blank space. Identify the most suitable terms to fill the blank space from the three options given within brackets at the end of the statement. Write down the question number and the relevant terms in your answer book. Okay. In addition to an internet connection, so what is an essential component we have to use? It is the web host. Now they are asking a web host. Is used in creating a dynamic website. It should be CMS, content management software. I will write it in short form as CMS. Text, images and sounds are components of web content. These are the things that include in the content of the web. Regular updating of website is an important part of maintenance. Okay, the next question. A sample web page is given and we have to write it. First one, head, it should be title. Then second one, body, headings, therefore I can write the second one as H2. Third one, it's not third one, keep it. And next one, fourth one, human elephant conflict. So third one also must be a heading H2. In here only the heading is given as H2 in the list. Then image, not image. Fourth one, font face. Fifth one, image SRC. Sixth one, what align, P align. Seventh one, P align equal what align is justify. And eighth one is href. If this one taken, if I taken this one, third one can be taken rather than taking H2, I can take it as justify. Okay, because you can see here the letters are in center. As the center is not given, I can write. Caption cannot be taken because there's no caption in here. Then the fourth one, a spreadsheet segment has been given and it shows the distribution of monthly tea prices for the year 2015. Use the above spreadsheet segment to answer the following questions. A formula of the form equal function cell 1 to cell 2 is written in cell B16. That means in here. And display the average price. To display the average price, it has been taken. So they asking to write the relevant terms to function 1, cell 1, cell 2. For the function 1, let's write function 1 is average. Function 1 should be average. Then cell 1, average, we should find B4 to B15 because 2014 is not want for this case. We want only 2015 average price for tea for the year only for 2015. So 2014 can be ignored, and in the cell 1 we can write B4 and in the cell 2 we can write up to B15. All together I can write equal average is, range is B4 to B15. In second one, it asking price difference of average monthly price for the month of December is calculated as follows. So now let's find price difference. December is equals to price December minus price November. A formula of the form is equal function. It is also a function is written in cell C15 to display the price difference for December. Okay, in here normally we can write price of December is equal B15 minus B14, but they asked to give a function for this. So we can write the function sum cell 3 B15 and cell 4 B40. Overall, if we wrote equal sum in brackets B15 minus B40. Third one, what would be the formula displayed in cell C4 if the formula in C15 is copied to the cell C4? Now cell C15, the formula of cell C15 is equal sum B15 minus B40. Now they ask in the formula if it is copied to C4 in here. So what would be the price difference in here? Equal B4 minus B3. We can write in two ways. First way is equal B4 minus B3, or else we can write equal sum B4 minus B3. What name two appropriate chart types available in spreadsheet to show the variation? To show the variation, what can we use? We can use a bar chart, or else line chart, or else column chart. These three only. Okay, then fifth one, the last question of fourth one. What cell range would you use for the horizontal axis to draw the charts in your answer to Roman number 4 above? Roman number 4. Okay. So what can we take? What can we given as the cell ranges? We can give either A3 to A15, not A3, because A3 is regarding to December 2014 December. So we can take the ranges as A4 to A15, or else B4 to B15. A4 to A15 or B4 to B15. Then the fifth question. A school band has a collection of instruments and they are lent to students who do not have instruments but want to be part of the school band. The school band maintains a database to manage the lending of the instruments to the students. The database contains as given below. List two primary key fields and their respective table names in the above database. So when taking instrument table, we can take the primary key as IID. I will write here instrument table. Instrument table I can use. Then in students table I can take SID. Student table S understroke ID. So these can be taken. The school band receives a donation on two drums on 2nd of December 2016. What tables needs to be updated in the database? Now 2 drums have been donated. So 2 drums instrument table should be updated. Okay, then next one, write down the updated rows of the tables in the database. Let's update ID instrument received. I will write the answer here. Write this in a table. I will write here ID and here instrument. And here I will write received date. Received understroke on. Right. Then IID is in last they have stopped the ID from I003. Then I can write the ID, a new ID, as I004. What is the instrument? Drum. And it has been borrowed in which day? In 8th of 2nd of December 2016. 2nd of December 2016. And then next one, again now 2 drums now. Therefore I will introduce a primary key again and I will write the instrument drum. And then 2/12/2016. So these are the things that we should update in here. The next one, someone joins the band on 8th of December 2016 and borrows a trumpet on the same day. Okay, so now someone, a new student came. What tables needs to be updated? A new student came as someone, so he should be updated in student table, but the grade is not given. And he had been taken a trumpet. So student table and borrowing table should be updated. Student table, borrowing table. Write down the updated rows of the tables in the database. So let's write. I will introduce in here. I will write here S006 and his name is Saman. The grade does not mention, so I don't write it. Then borrowing table. Okay, so he borrowed it on 8th of December. That means 8/12/2016. And his instrument ID. What he borrows? A trumpet. So instrument ID is I001. Then his student ID I have introduced as 6S006. Okay, so this is the updated table. And this is the end of the 5th question. Assume that the principal of your school requests you to develop a computer-based system for generating report cards to replace the current manual system, as the accuracy of the report card is a very important factor. Your IT teacher advises you to determine a suitable deployment approach. Okay. State one method that can be used to gather in requirements. So there are several methods. Observation, by observing something, by doing observations, by doing interviews, by questionnaires, and then document sample space, collection, and also prototyping. So these are 5 major ways that we can gather information. You have decided to use waterfall model to develop the news. So asking one limitation of the waterfall model. The requirements should be identified first. And after that cannot change it. And also cannot observe the previous phases. the developers should wait until the software is over. That means they cannot say that ICT is good. They cannot find any feedback because it cannot be observed in previous phases, and also the developer should wait. The steps of this method goes one by one. Goes one phase to another phase to another phase. So these are some limitations. Second one, write down an alternative deployment approach to the waterfall method. There are some alternative models. Rather than waterfall model, we can use iterative, incremental, then prototyping, and all prototyping, and then last spider. So these are some rather than using waterfall methods, we can use these methods too. Next one, what would be the most suitable or appropriate deployment method for this system? Deployment. Let's see, assume that the principal of your school requests you to develop a computer-based system for generating report cards to replace the current manual system. So the better one is parallel deployment, or else we can use pilot deployment. State one reason for the recommendation you made in C. Because the risk of the software can be minimized. And also, what else? If the computer-based system has errors, then no issue occurred for the generating report cards as the manual. The current system also carry in parallelly. Okay, so I will as I written, these are some recommendations why I choose this deployment method. Okay, now the Roman number 2. A company with the head office in Colombo and 3 branches in Kandy, Mathura and Jaffna decides to conduct monthly branch manager meetings using video conferencing technology. Okay, so write down one advantage of using video conferencing. So what are the advantages? It saves the time, effort, and the traveling expenses. So these are the advantages of using video conferencing. Okay. Write down one problem the company may face when using the video conferencing technology. Internet connection issues. Hackers might be enter and cannot be taken because in here they are not mentioned as other internet connection issues. Then and also the cost the cost for maintenance is high, and also the interaction between people get minimized. These are some problems. Currently, the above company uses printed letters and memos to communicate with its employees. It decided to use modern technology to replace the current method of communicating with employees. Recommend a suitable messaging technology for this purpose. Can use emails. In brackets you can write electronic messaging. In addition to the video conferencing and your recommendation in above C, state 2 other methods the company can use to communicate. Through online chatting, text messages such as what? SMS, short message service. Then likewise we through online chatting like what? Like Skype. So these are some recommendations. Now asking to next one, the pseudocode below reads two numbers and display the larger number. Draw a flow chart. Start. Let's draw it. First of all, start. This should be oval. Start. And then get AB means it is an input. So we can write input A, comma. Next one. If A is greater than B, then display A. And now we have to draw a diamond shape. Selection. If A greater than B. If this becomes yes, what happens? If this becomes no, what happens? Let's write. Yes. If it becomes yes, then display A, else display B. Display means it should be an output. Display. Now yes, display A. If it is no, display B. Display B. And then what happens? End if is stop by using a connector like it. By using a connector we can connect these two and then we can finally end or stop the process. You can either write end or else stop. Okay. Suppose a school has conducted an examination of a particular subject for 100 students and recorded the marks scored. The given flowchart with blank spaces indicated by labels A to D is designed to read the marks and display the highest. Identify and write down the most appropriate labels A, B and C. In here A should be, now for this one, for 100 students, no? Therefore the count should be should be less than or equal for 100 students. And then next one B, count equal count plus 1. In here it should be like that, I think. Plus 1. Then if it is yes, this condition is happens and what happens? Display what? Display, we should display what? X. we should display X and recorded the marks. The given flowchart with blank spaces is designed to read these marks and display the highest. Now display the highest. Now X is greater than max. What happened? If it is yes, so if it is X is greater than max, if it is yes, the max should be equal to X. And for D, we should display what? Display the max one. In here, not display. It should be input. Forgot it. Right? First of all, I have to give the count. If it is yes, the count should be equal count plus. Then only I will input the max here. Input the X here. Thus, X should be greater than max. If it is yes, C is what? Max equal X. And then if it is no, D should be display max. So this is the end of 2016 oral paper. So this is the end of my session, guys. So I would like to do other papers too in the next time. And if you have any doubts regarding this paper or any doubts regarding lessons, please comment me. I am ready to explain you all the doubts and clear you the doubts. So thank you for everyone. Goodbye, guys. Stay safe and blessed.